In another life, Gaza could have been a tourist spot, once a centre of culture, rich in history, and home to beautiful beaches on the Mediterranean. Years of blockades and bloody conflicts have taken a toll, but Israel's response to the October 7th Hamas attack has left Gaza unrecognisable. Satellite imaging reveals the scale of destruction. More than 70% of Gaza's civilian infrastructure has been damaged or destroyed, including 22 sites of cultural heritage identified by UNESCO, mosques and churches dating back hundreds of years, a museum and several archaeological sites. But the Palestinian Culture Ministry say the number is far higher and have documented destruction and severe damage of over 200 sites. Wiping out the cultural heritage of a people is one of the many war crimes South Africa alleges against Israel in a lawsuit.
This is cultural genocide. We never see a conflict like what is happening in Gaza. The cultural heritage is not just about monuments, about historical buildings, about museums. It's also the way of life. You know, how those people are living and how are their, cultural identity as well.
This was Pasha Palace, where Napoleon is said to have spent a few nights. Now, no place to rest. The Grand Amari Mosque was Gaza's oldest, stretching back centuries. It was once a Crusader church and had a library of rare manuscripts, now piles of rubble. The IDF say they were targeting militants inside. A requiem of buildings, including libraries, galleries and Gaza's central archives, which held documents dating back over 100 years. This was Hammam al-Samara, estimated to be over 1,000 years old. The IDF claim a terrorist squad was using the building. It's now gone. This Byzantine church, with its ancient mosaics dating back to the 5th century, was destroyed in October. At the Han Yunis Museum, home to artifacts from the Bronze Age, once handled with care, now shattered on the floor.
Is it a war crime to deliberately target sites of cultural heritage?
Yes, it's a war crime under the 1954 Convention, under the additional protocols to the Geneva Conventions, and under the Rome Statute and elsewhere. So yes, it is a war crime to specifically target your enemy's cultural property, unless there is an element of what is called military necessity.
How hard will it be to investigate what's happened in Gaza and whether some of these sites were deliberately targeted or not?
It will be extremely difficult, not least because of the way that the fighting is being prosecuted, and the fact that some of the potentially critical evidence may not have been collected in time, in the right place, in the right method.
The IDF told us they follow international law. All universities have now been destroyed. This was the last one standing. Israel had allegedly converted the campus into a military base and detention facility before destroying it. The IDF told us the approval process for the blast is still being investigated. Gazans are not only losing their past and present, their future too. They fear this is also a war on place and history.